Aloha. Welcome, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce Clint Kuahiwi Pasalo Anderson, who is a Hawaii-based educator, scholar, and leader whose work flows at the intersection of culture, curriculum, and community. As a professor in the School of Education at the University of Hawaiʻi at Hilo, he guides teachers in navigating the evolving seas of educational practice, research, action, and the ethical integration of technology. Formerly Dean of Studies at Kamehameha Schools, Hawaii, Dr. Anderson led academic programs grounded in Native Hawaiian values, designed to foster college, career, and la hui readiness. With experience as a teacher, counselor, administrator, and longtime high school coach, his journey honors diverse ways of knowing and the deep currents that shape student growth. His praxis is rooted in kuleana, pilina, and an unwavering belief in the transformative power of story. Please put your hands together and welcome Dr. Anderson.
Preview. Eia he e lua la I ka pi'ina pu'u, no ka hiki na no a hiki mai, e hele I ke ala kumohana e kuma mai e pu'u I ke nei, he mai, e kuma mai Aloha, e nā kumu, nā haumana, nā lakai, nā kua, nā kūpuna. Welcome to the educators, students, leaders, and of course to our ancestors. Again, day 3, body, mind, spirit, ʻike, ʻike, ʻike. We continue the work and remember to close circles and that all paths lead to the ocean and that sometimes we need drinks and songs by the ocean on Thursdays. And sometimes the sun is up before we are on Fridays. That ends are beginnings and ends are beginnings and ends are beginnings and beginnings to remember. Your first steps here on this aina, on this campus, the humidity from wet earth, seated in the warmth of sunshine, greeted with the paka. The drum beat that is a heartbeat, that is the rising and falling of tides, that is the nourishment that calls forth and beckons, that is the raindrop to begin its new journey again. In the pockets of tomorrow, it carries with it the source of our collective emergence. Aloha. Rememberings, a ohe pau ka ʻike I ka halau hoʻokahi. All knowledge is not taught in the same school. Of manawahine, like Anakea Jackie, who dip their paddles into the waters of living histories, legacies of mo'i and us, and holographic epistemologies flown in by Manu and us that brought drops of their own from corners of our seeing. Our being, reminders of a mele-filled evening, good food, good drink, good conversations with good people, notes sung to the rhythm of crashing waves of each other, reminding us we're the same, you and me. The essence of humanities, that which makes us human. Reminders that we have already begun the beautiful huaka'i we find ourselves on now. Another leg which docks today, signaling the launch into the transformative winds that will carry the experiences gleaned here in Hilo, uplifting you, always. So let us start again at the center. A lesson for the day, Piko, Auntie Edith Kanakaole and Eho Mai. For the first time this past year, I was fortunate to have peer mentors in classes that I taught who helped on huaka'i and co-taught lessons and accompany teaching chants. So I'd like to acknowledge them, my haumana, Kukuia Kana and Hulali Wiseman in this space today, and mahalo them for their kukua in putting together these next few slides. If you ventured past the library, you would see this mural painted by Kamehameha, which has brightened the space and brought renewed spirit to the building, ʻike, to the humanities, a reminder of what art brings. A lecture. Auntie Edith taught at the University of Hawaiʻi at Hilo and created courses and seminars on Hawaiian language, ethnobotany, Polynesian history, geology, genealogy, and Hawaiian chant and mythology, her impact reverberating far beyond her disciplines. She was considered hulu kūpuna, the precious few living blood relatives of the grandparents' generation, a term of affection and pride. Hulu, feather, kūpuna, wise elder, a valuable part of the past that is retained in the present, holographic importance. Super cool accomplishment. She was also commemorated as a luminary selected for the American Woman Quarter Series. I'm not sure how she would have felt being called an American, but I'm sure she would have been flattered nonetheless. Her ohana are humbled and honored. On the quarter it reads, E ho mai ka ʻike, her composition. One of the oli or chants used by the University of Hawaiʻi at Hilo, sometimes as a call for permission, sometimes as an acknowledgement, sometimes as a grounding. Through your workshops, you have made lei, learned laukapala, have become familiar with Hawaiian pronunciation. So now we apply. Dip the paddle, grab the microphone, dot, circle, sphere, body, mind, spirit. At its core, a pure expression of aloha. So what I'd like us to do is all stand. Some of us know this oli. But regardless of your familiarity, you will all leave here today equipped knowing this particular chant. So we'll go through it, and we'll practice it a little bit, and we'll try one time all the way through. So you can repeat after me. E ho mai, ka ʻike, mai luna, mai e. E ho mai, ka ʻike, mai luna, mai e. E ho mai ka ʻike, mai luna, mai e. Mai ka ʻike. Let's try the whole first line. E ho mai ka ʻike, mai luna, mai e. E ho mai ka ʻike, mai luna, mai e. Mai ka ʻike. Okay, next line. O nā mea, huna noʻeau, o nā mele. Very good. O nā mea, huna noʻeau, o nā mele. Beautiful. Let's try the whole line. O nā mea huna noʻeau o nā mele. O nā mea huna noʻeau o nā mele. Very good. And then the next three lines just repeat. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai e. Beautiful. All right, so we'll try it out. So this is repeated 3 times. So I'll do it one time. That last line, e ho mai e, you hold that, and it begins the first line again. So it goes, e ho mai e, ho mai ka ʻike. So it's a little raise, so make sure you kind of take a little breath before that. If you feel like you're running out of breath, take a quick breath again. So it goes like this. E ho mai ka ʻike mai luna mai e, una mea huna noʻeau una mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e, ho mai ka ʻike mai luna mai e. Una mea huna noʻeau una mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e, ho mai ka ʻike mai luna mai e. Breathe. O nā mea huna noʻeau no mele. So we'll go through that 3 times. Okay? Think we can do it? Yeah. All right. So I'll do the first line, and then you guys can repeat the first line. Okay? E ho mai ka ʻike mai luna mai e. Pa. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. Una mea huna no iau una mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai ka. Okay, all right, so, think we got it? All right, so we'll all do it all together. Okay, so I'll do e ho mai and you folks can come in on ka ike mai luna mai. Ready? Okay, we'll try it out, try it out. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. Ona mea huna no iau ona mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. Ona mea huna no iau ona mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e. Last time, e ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. And breathe. Ona mea huna no iau ona mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e. Beautiful. 2 claps. All right, mahalo. All right, can please be seated. Maikai, maikai. We're going to do it one more time during the presentation, and I'll give you the cue. All right, so now we are ready for a huakai. Hua, the seeding, egg, beginning, kai, to follow in succession. Also sometimes referred to as a field trip. Maybe such is the tendency of education. Maybe it's why we're here, teaching and learning through culture, experience, praxis, and practice. Aloha. Longing to be let loose, seeking to understand the complexities of the terminal edges of Kuananuiākea Hawaiʻi, Hawaiian perspectives. New knowledge of place, of seeing the world as mo'opuna and kūpuna, grandchildren and grandparents, the relationships, connections, the future ancestors that sit here now. You are them. In the contemporary classroom, lecture hall, first world, air conditioned so we keep cool and colonial constructs keep time, bound by minutes and schedules, so we should begin. Seated forward, we look at screens ahead and never back or out the window at sun-drenched sky or rain-drenched soil as we should. If we did, we'd notice clouds forming already on the horizon, signaling squalls, bringing the translucent silver sheets that start oceanic journeys. We'd learn that beginnings are ends, our beginnings are cyclical, reciprocal, if we see it that way. If we listen to the stories and believe them, live them, if we stepped outside. What if instead of here, sitting in swiveling chairs, facing front, slide deck, decked out, we were swiveled there? You were there. In the third space of story, passenger seated, vans packed. Every class starts like this, destination in mind. Maybe you're with underclassmen, maybe faculty friends, maybe a squad of budding teachers, ready to change the world. Lessons in lessons, relationships first, then the learning. There's an olalo'o there, find it. Quick trip. Maybe it's sunny, maybe it rains a little because Hilo, that's why. Assessments and outcomes dance as we listen to new music, kalohe kai. Kalohe, mischievous, kai, saltwater, healing, appropriate for the huakai. Tuned in to the right frequency for our field trip journey to the piko, the kumu, the source where water begins, as vai. Fresh ice, watersheds and sleds slide on the tips of tongues, mo'o twitching in rhythms of olelo, already anxious for their turn. Language transformed into action, being, doing, learning. We drive and traverse the palena, boundaries of black roads winding up forests. Departing Hilo, maybe you recall the twisting of tea leaves, la'i with kumuhualani. Maybe you remember that the mahina phase on Wednesday was Hilo, the beginning of a new lunar cycle, a time to braid things into existence, that you are already on the huaka'i you are now on. We take Komohana to Saddle Road. Maybe someone calls it the Daniel K. Inouye Highway. Maybe someone remembers an airport, a school. Maybe we discuss his war stories or heroism and sacrifice. Maybe we discuss his contributions to Hawaii, his service, his trailblazing efforts on the road. In one story, we delve into plantation history and let the multi-ethnic nature of recent upbringings unfold. In another, we unfurl his time in the U.S. Senate. Maybe there's a mention, a reminder that there is no treaty of annexation, no U.S. A story of the independence of Hawaii unravels complexities that play out in kingdoms, maybe in The Hague. A reminder of the nuanced nature of cultural communication, a reminder of conversations to come, a reminder that ea, sovereignty, breath, respiration, exists first in our actions. A lesson forthcoming, ʻike, ʻike, ʻike. You would have read about the realms, spaces dictated by importance, not of our choice, but of our kuleana. The privileged responsibility to respect places that perpetuate life, that the Hawaiian word for wealth is vai, water twice. You might stop and feel something flow within you, your na'au, the gut that informs lurching, viscous lineages. We leave Wao Kanaka, the realm of humans, and pierce into Wauakua, the spiritual, reminding us to adhere to protocols and remain conscious of our place and actions and respect in the realm of sacred elemental processes, that which ensure the maintenance and well-being of our aina, our land. And you remember that it also means that which feeds. Equipped with this understanding, we ascend. Maybe the conversation rises into the now time, which is the then time, and you recall Pele and Poliahu, the stories of sledding, jealousy, and upena, net of snow, and the leaping fires of passion, the stories of us. Here in creation and recreation and understanding of humanity, of the stories of the land, of patterns of us. Pushing through stretches of lava and ancestral steps, you remember that pono is balance too. In one story, we drive straight through clouded contemplations and empty into the blue expanse of silence, and there we sit, staring into the gaze of 1,000 sunsets. It is beautiful. In another story, we stop here. Beauty in the midst of seemingly barren land at Pu'u Huluhulu. Pu'u, hill or outcropping. You might remember something about hulu and feathers. You would be right. But it's blurred by bellows that beckon from every direction. But water in tow, like our ancestors, we walk and follow. We kilo here for a second and observe, notice, wonder, apart but together, see asphalt carving through history, an intersection marked by mo'olelo, the stories of succession, tears and love and beauty. We walk closer. To stones packed tightly, listening, we hear the melee of 1,000 voices, daily chants and laughter and wailing and echoes of resistance and of their making and blessing and building, and so we follow tradition. Protocol. On this trip and in this story, we ku'iluna. Please stand. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e o na mea huna noia o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e o na mea e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. Una mea huna noia una mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e. Mahalo. Please be seated. We offer a mahalo. Oli, with the lei you learn to make, its purpose fulfilled, you understand kuleana more deeply, that everything has a function, as we were taught. An ahu, gusseted by winds of change, a silence breaks the whispers whipping in our ears. If you're attentive, you know. We are acknowledged and welcomed. Permission asked and granted, we proceed, prancing back down black ripped steps of a'a and pahoihoi, maneuvers practiced as children we see, like them, and drift toward a metal cattle gate and herd through and begin our grazing too. Aware, we wipe our feet on brushes anchored to ground, a new protocol to protect Ohia and Lehua, to ensure their love story lives on, their connection, to remind us of ours, to theirs. You make a note to look up why it rains when blossoms are picked. As we walk up through this outcropping of vegetation, you would learn that this is a kipuka. We have one here too at UH Hilo. Kumumalu mentioned this at the opening ceremony journey, that you didn't know that you had begun. You would see the connection and internalize it. A new layer of kauna, hidden or deeper or layered meaning would emerge. You might note it in your phone, in your notebook, but it will change you. When you see it again on your way home, you will see kipuka around you. You will become one. You will understand how and why kipaipai welcome you. Supporting stones that have been there ever since fall into places from the past for you to walk, guide, reverberations through breaths. We walk up through lichen-drenched trees. You might turn and wonder why you didn't see this from the highway. Question why it is that we know the world from narrow-minded roads, how divergent paths create intimacy with place. You move closer, as you should. You hear that it looks like feathers. You touch them, feel the down-like texture, a nod to names. Again, you might be right. Another note, another layer. Kauna, waking prefrontal cortexes. Vai, vai, ʻike, ʻike. Ike. We walk, Iluna, up, Vawakua envelops us. We see now with our na'au and understand the land feeds us in different ways. Maybe you remember that there are 3 piko, open to the world, seen and unseen, open to the tendrils that reach in interdimensional directions, which open now like the trails that we've walked before, like strings unraveling, we understand. You might have learned the hey that you saw during the opening ceremony. Hey, to capture, ensnare, focus the mana of this place. We practice here to honor the akua whose dwelling we are visiting, to acknowledge the moku we were on. In another story, our breathing becomes shallow, a reminder of our place in this place, to pace and trace time through mahina shadows. We stride in silence, cycles ringing in ears, crescent signaling the cresting of our path. For today, we stop and kilo and stand still, straight, upright. From this vantage point, we look out. Maybe someone thinks about ku and war and the masculine. Maybe we talk about the balance of and with hina, the feminine. Mo'olelo multiplying already in midnight eyes, dilating back and forth and back, and po and ao and darkness and light. Maybe someone thinks about the kumulipo, our creation story, appropriate in this place of volcanic memory, what we might consider and call destruction and creation. We rethink the sentiment and settle on hulihia, a necessary change, the turning over of things, time, thoughts, and pele and akua. The air is thin, so we breathe. Returning to ku, In another story, we speak of his branches reaching up and roots burrowing down, breaking plains, turning into ulu, that which feeds his people during times of famine. We contemplate Inoa, the kauna of names, of gods here in Wawakua, lessons of abundance and survival, aloha, tested. It is the now time again, and ancestral eyes might glance out and let memories fill in the cracks of barren spaces, and we think about recent history. In one memory, we stand proud, united, seen, heard, blanketed in cool understandings, a storm of droplets ready to nourish. In another, there is tempered fire, tension that builds, undercurrents of eruption, droplets boiling in steam-filled vents of misunderstanding. We kilo and recognize that this has happened before. Here, where boundaries are clearly delineated by nature's discourse, from blue to cindered earth, to green, to black, to green, to cindered earth again. In the space where life gives life to life, where teaching and learning grew again. In another memory, where kupu-kupu began to sprout and gather and grow in human silhouettes that line the new horizons, there's a lot to learn by being outside, walking, talking, dyad group work still reverberating from the journey you didn't know you were already on. Walking the back trail, you're surprised at the vast vegetation, invisible from vehicle windows, how small the picture frames life. You feel the weight of history, branches brushing shoulders, reminding you you are not alone. Maybe someone looked down instead, and in this story saw a feather, hulu, ho'ailona, a sign, omen, a name, layers. Maybe we discuss how feathers were gathered to use and cloak ali'i and kuleana, their sacredness. Maybe now you remember nahulu kūpuna, the essence that remains after transitions, the feathers of wisdom that are put to another use, that live on after. Maybe in a deep moment of reflection, you ruminate on what will be remembered for, the clarity of water seeping in, vai vai. Maybe your mind takes flight, and maybe we gather back in the van and ascend higher into sacred spaces, access roads, accessing more memories of kia'i chained to cattle grates, and windy roads that swirl and switch back time. Maybe you drifted with hulu into atmosphere. You blink, and you are here now, looking down at where you were, contemplating perspective, how small we are, what we think we are, droplets of water soaring to the pico, returning to the source. You can see the pregnant clouds that birth life, birth ideas, birth creativity, birth beginnings. Maybe in the distance we hear remnants of eruptions, chaotic clamorings, light as feathers drifting into the future. Maybe we stop for lunch. Maybe we drive straight down, a reminder that we are time-bound and classes and sessions await. As weighted eyelids condense like clouds, swollen with vai, we puncture back through portals, back into Waukanaka, following the droplet through lava-walled tunnels. You remember that all paths lead to the ocean, the second twist in your lei Hilo. We return. You understand now, vai. You see the signs in street signs. Vaya nue nue, water rainbows, seen in the mist, another reminder of Hina and Kapa and Maui. But we don't have time for Moana comparisons. There are other sessions soon, and the sun moves too quickly across the sky. Later, before you leave, you will visit Wailoa, the long water, Vai again. Maybe you linger and understand why Hilo has plenty rain. Importance of names again, purpose of place, our place, and purpose, kuleana, ʻike, ʻike, ʻike. Waiākea, the expansiveness of water, a reminder that sometimes it floods here. The ʻike of intimately known place. We are always prepared. A reminder for the similar situation, in these times, the supersaturation of political soil. An important lesson for students, from students. A reminder to keep afloat and have fun, smile, be human. And as always, our huaka'i returns home to blues that fade to reds, that fade to greens, that fade to black, to Hilo, knowing self a little better, the hua of possibility, the seed, the egg already growing, hatching in the Hall of Humanities. We mahalo each other for the path that has led to this oceanic journey, the opportunity to share space, explore our humanity, and the connections that we develop through interactions with each other, with the aina, that which feeds, uplifts, sustains. I would thank you for shifting paradigms, leaving our time-bound seats of oppression, and stepping outside. And because ends are beginnings, I'd like to ask if we can close and end, and close and end, and open with a circle to launch us into the rest of the day. If we can, let's make maybe a circle around the room. Many huaka'i, often when we enter spaces and leave spaces, it's always a circle, always a circle. So what I'd like us to do, if we can go around and share 3 names in this space. So your full name, the name of the place you call home, and the name of a person you would like to recognize and honor through 2 days. So it's up here. So 3 names. So 3 names is first your name, your full name of your home, and name of a person who you would like to bring into this space and honor today. They can be living, they can be in recent memory, they can be deceased, they can be near or far, whatever it may be. So I'll go first, and then we'll go clockwise. In Hawaiian thinking, when we travel clockwise with our right hand to the mountain, it's usually we remember things. We like to remember all the things that we've learned to do. When we travel counterclockwise with our open hand to the ocean, it's usually to forget things. Yeah? So this time we'll go clockwise. So as mentioned, my name is Clint Kuahiwi Pasalo Anderson. I now call Ōiwi and Hilo home. And I'd like to bring my daughter Kiana into this academic space today. So mahalo.
My name is Shruti Soharia Singh. I'm from Bombay. And yes, I would call Samarth my son in this space.
Jacqueline Polani Johnson, Hilo Hanakahi, Ku'ututu Wahine, Kaya Kawilani.
Jenny Gian, Waikea Uka, my grandmother too.
Patsy Yuriko Iwasaki, Kaumana is my home, and I'd like to bring my mother, Yukiko Nakayama, into this space.
My name is Kirsten Mulagon. I live in Ainako. I'll bring my husband John into this space.
My name is Deirdre De La Cruz. Home is Hilo, and I'd like to bring my uncle Randy Wong into this space.
My name is Kimberly Denise Russell. I live on the Hilo Paliku. And I'd like to bring my grandmother Bernice into this space.
My name is Stephanie Suzanne. Home is Vancouver, Canada. And I'll bring my husband, Will Suzanne. My name is Azra Mahmood. My home is Phoenix, Arizona. And I'd like to bring my mentor, Marilyn Torres Omifonke, in this space.
My name is Meera Gupta Tasali. My home is New Jersey, USA, and I'd like to bring my husband, Dean.
My name is Akshita Bhakre. My home is Arizona, and I'd like to bring my husband, Dean, into this space.
My name is Thomas Meacham. I live in Miami, Florida. I'd like to bring my mother, Heather, into this space.
My name is Laura Balin.
My home is Tacoma, Washington, and I bring my grandparents in this space.
My name is Tiffany Kuahiwi Pasalo. I'm from Amherst, specifically Moananuiākea, and I would love to bring my grandma, Margaret, into this space.
Saya provincial farm. Saya Hilo, North Massachusetts is my home, and I'll bring Matrix to this space.
My name is Catherine. Home is ʻike, and I would bring my mentor, lineage.
Hello, my name is Kyoto. My home is Waikolopa, and I would like to bring my mother and my sisters.
My name is Michelle Herrenbrody. Home is Oahu, and I just bring my mom back.
Welcome. I live in the Ōiwi area, and I would like to bring.
My name is Kialina. My home is Augsburg in the south of Germany, and I'd like to bring my mother Brigitte into this space.
My name is Xu Zhao from Beijing, China, and I can bring my mother.
My name is Tris Wisher. I'm from Texas, and I'd like to bring my mother Rochelle to the space.
My name is Andrzej. My home is Hilo, and I'd like to bring my son Margaret.
My name is Christina Markman. My home is San Diego, California, and I'd like to bring my mother Irina into the space.
My name is Anna Christensen. I come from Pella, Iowa, in the U.S., and I would like to bring my grandfather Arnold Lester into this space.
My name is Martin Klika of San Francisco, and I want to evoke the name of my friend Melinda.
My name is Josie Garcia Medina. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. I would like to bring my late professor, Michelle Johnson Vela, into this space.
Hi, my name is Myra. I come from the Philippines, and I bring into this sacred space my husband, Dean.
My name is Pan Xiaofei, last name first name Chinese, and I'm from Shanghai, China. And I would like to bring Ren, who is my best friend, colleague, collaborator, co-author, into this place.
My name is Bill Stempsey. My home is Worcester, Massachusetts, and I bring my father, Bill.
I'm Nicole. I'm from Boise, Idaho, and I want to bring my late friend Jeannie into this.
My name is Veronica. My home is Mexico, and I want to bring my friend Juliana from this place.
My name is Tania de Hoyos. I'm from Monterey. I live in Monterey, California. I'm from Monterey, Mexico. And I would like to bring my kids, my two beautiful kids here.
My name is Eva Kanich. I call home Augsburg in Germany, and I want to bring my mother Christiane into the space.
My name is Nicole Roberts. I live in Trinidad and Tobago, and I bring my nephew Christian Roberts into this space.
My name is Lonnie Pierce. My home is Colorado, and I'd like to bring my husband Brian into this space.
My name is Satyanarayana. I'm from Rajahmundry. I would like to bring my grandson Gautam to this auspicious space.
My name is Benigno Agapito Jr. My home is General Trias Cavite in the Philippines, and I'd like to bring my brother into this sacred space.
My name is Saeed Tahabi Muslim. I was born in Iran. I live in California. I would love to bring my beloved son Saeed, and my family, the permission, into this holy space.
I'm Gabrielle Kilpinen. My home is in two places, as I'm sure is true of us, both in New Hampshire and in Maine. And I would also like to bring her son, Sarah, into this space.
My name is Vladimir Riano. For 30 years I lived in Bedford, New Hampshire. And I'd like to bring to this circle my wife Tatiana, who passed away from breast cancer, but gave life to our son.
My name is Aparna, and I have two homes, Pune, India, and Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
and I would like to bring in this space, sacred space, both my parents who passed away recently and my siblings who are my strength.
My name is June Maneja Domingo Reyes. I call Quebec and Hilo my home, and I would like to bring my dear friend Kalana into this space.
Olokeloa, kalakahi hiwachi ko uinoa, no kaula oahu, mea, and I'm bringing my mom, Nina, into this space.
Mahalo for sharing the places and the people that have shaped you. You honor them with your presence here today and the work that you do collectively and individually. So on behalf of everyone at the University of Hawaiʻi and Hilo, our ohana here, we mahalo you folks for your presence, your space, and your time together with us during this conference. So ask us to do one last thing, if we can. Maybe just give a last squeeze to everyone on the side of you. Put your hands down, mahalo. We'll do 2 claps, and then we'll say ola. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, we'll go 1, 2, and then we'll say ola. So ola means life. You have to give life to give life to all of the thoughts that have been produced and will be produced. So ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Ola. Mahalo. Have a wonderful day.